Hello, this is Captain Moreno yet again for another episode of Past 7, Chapter 3, Weather and Other Wonderful Stuff. Alright, I'm trying out new introduction. Alright, so again, Past 7, Chapter 3.2, and this is called Low Pressure Can Become Storms. Alright, one thing you might have heard before, especially because you live in Asia, you might not have heard of hurricanes much, but you've heard of typhoons. Like, we had a typhoon that hit Seoul a few weeks ago, or rather a few months ago. But what is the difference between hurricanes, typhoons, and tropical storms? Hurricanes and typhoons are synonyms. The only difference really is that usually things that come from the Atlantic Ocean, so ones that hit the United States and Mexico on the left side, we call hurricanes. And the ones that happen in the Indian or Pacific Ocean, mostly the ones that hit Asia, we call typhoons. And the only real exception that I can think of is the ones that hit the west side of Mexico. We usually call those hurricanes as well. But they're the same things. They're the same thing. They're just big storms. Now, a tropical storm pretty much just means a very weak hurricane. So I drew a picture here of different kinds of hurricanes. A very weak one we'll just call a tropical storm, and sometimes you'll see it says TS. Then if it becomes stronger, we call it a category 1. And these categories are just based on the speed of the winds inside. The winds inside the storm, that is what determines what category we give it. Now, if you look online, hurricanes, it'll tell you the list and the exact number ranges. But for this class, it's not important. So it'll be a category 2, category 3, category 4, and category 5. Category 5 is the most powerful of hurricanes, and category 5 is, I think, anything beyond 135 miles per hour, something like that. But it's until any speed. So there is no category 6. It's just anything above that's a category 5. And there have been some category 5s that have hit countries, like, for example, Hurricane Katrina that hit the United States in 2005, and Hurricane Rita. Those were category 5 hurricanes. Hurricane Andrew. Hurricanes have names. We give them names just to keep track of them, or for history so that we know when they came. Hurricane Andrew hit Florida when I was young, I think 1993 or 94. And there are many category 1, 2, and 3s. I think the one that hit Seoul hit Okinawa as a category 3. So it's just how powerful the hurricanes are. Now, a storm surge. Here I drew a picture of land. So this is land. If there's a big storm, a storm has a lot of wind that is moving, right? So it's pushing the ocean water, and it makes the ocean water go up and into the land. And that water that is going up and into the land is called a storm surge. And it's called a storm surge because it is all this water getting pushed into the land by the storm. So I think that's pretty self-explanatory. The last page was about severe weather called blizzards and ice storms. Now, a blizzard, hold on, let me see this. It says on the book that there are biting storms with winds of at least 56 kilometers per hour. What does that mean? Well, hurricanes have special kind of speeds, right? That make us give them a name, whether category 1, category 2. Blizzard is much simpler. It's either just snowing or it's a blizzard. And a blizzard, it says, it's anything that goes above 56 kilometers per hour and usually has to be below -7 degrees Celsius. So sometimes people will just say, oh, there's a blizzard outside. But most of the time that's incorrect. It's not a blizzard. A blizzard is an actual scientific term. So unless it fits these requirements of 56 kilometers per hour and -7 degrees Celsius, which is 20 Fahrenheit, it is not a blizzard. So just think of it like a snowstorm that is very windy, like snow blowing up this way into your face. That is a blizzard. And the last one I wanted to talk about was an ice storm, because this talks about freezing rain, which we talked about in chapter 2. Now, when rain hits the ground and the ground is below freezing point, things will start freezing. The rain will start freezing as soon as it hits the ground. Why is this dangerous? Well, if the rain, here's the ground, the rain hits the ground and freezes, it'll be very, very fine ice. Think about like a time after it has snowed and the snow has become ice. It's very slippery. It's very dangerous, not just for people, but also for cars. It's very difficult to put on the brakes when the whole road is covered with a thin sheet of ice. So that is the reason why ice storms can be very dangerous. That's all for now. All right, goodbye.